There they are. You can see them. Look at how slow they are. They're taking a while. Look at the speed. Beautiful ingots. Oh, they can have big crashes still, though. And look at them go. And we've got 9 minutes to wait. This video is supported by my merch store. Go to store.bruffy.com to browse a wide variety of styles for t-shirts, mugs and more, as well as digital items and the iconic Bruffy Love and G-Fred logo enamel pins. Here they come, as we're waiting patiently for 9 minutes. Lighty in the lead, RBS second, AG Axel third, Subaru in fourth, and then we got the rest of the pack on their merry way in those ingots. Yep, they're pretty slow. Ooh, battle for the lead as they come to finish lap 2. 3 of them all fighting it out. Bit of a gap to 4th place. I think Subaru is all on their own in 4th place. Because then there's a big gap back to the rest of the pack. Well, no, 4th, 5th and 6th are sort of... And then there's a big gap to the rest of the pack. Yeah, they're not going to get round to us. Still that 3-way battle. Lighty, RBS and AG Axo, the 3 fighting for the lead in the ingots. And we'll see if we can catch up almost 3 full laps by the end. Alright, away we go. 15 minutes on the timer. 9 minutes after the ingots started their race. We are away. And we've got to catch them all up. 9 laps, but we do 9 laps a lot quicker than they do 9 laps. There's a 1 minute per lap difference between the cars. Exactly 1 minute. The Tigons set about a 2 minute 8 second lap. The ingots are about a 3 minute 8 second lap. 9 laps, 9 minute gap between them at the start. By the end of the race, we should be pretty close together. But who will win? So the Tigon, it's going to be a bit of a challenging race. Certainly for me, I think it's going to be pretty challenging because the Tigons is a little bit, well, it's not very consistent, let's put it that way. And it's a high downforce car, which I'm not that great with. Then on the other side, the ingots are more consistent, but also easy to lose a lot of time in them. If you just mess up a little bit on one of the uphills at the start, you can lose multiple seconds on the rest of the uphill. But it's been calculated to, as always, by the end of the race, come together at the end. My strength, we're doing the east half of the north loop. My strength has always been these downhill bits. I'm not as strong in the rest of the lap, I don't think. And we're also obviously not doing the full north loop, which we could have probably done, but yeah, even on this 2 to 3 minute lap, they've still lapped us twice and almost 3 times. Rip. Not the greatest start. Time loss will happen to us battling, to the ingots battling with each other. We'll just have to see which car wins at the end. But everybody should have a chance to win. That's the idea with these car v cars. The person who races the best and does the best race, regardless of which car you're in, should ultimately win overall. Seven minutes 52 seconds the gap at the moment, so it should come down by a minute every lap. We'll have it'll be pretty easy to work out if we're on pace and who to catch, because with 8 laps to go, the gap should be 8 minutes. With 7 laps to go, the gap should be 7 minutes, and so on. If we're under that minute barrier, we're doing well. If we're over it, we're probably not going to catch by the end, unless other things happen. Top 3 have all changed positions, that's true. So they're having their own little battle, which will slow them down. Me and GT Driver have already had a bit of a coming together, which has slowed us down. Oh, bloody hell. Here's our first ingot. Okay, this is going to get a little bit dicey now. We have caught up to them. Considering they were almost an entire lap ahead when we started the race, we've caught up to them very quickly, and we've got to make our way through them cleanly. Because if we take them out... Yeah, that was... I should have gone to the outside there. And I didn't mean to beep the horn there as well, actually. That was a panic horn. The ingots do not have to move away out of the way for us, but they also can't defend their position. So they're allowed to, as long as they just keep to their racing line, that's fine, until it gets to the very last lap, in which case they can defend their position, but the pace difference is such that there's probably going to be no point, let's be honest. Bollocks! Okay, well, that's the win gone. Is that a takeout? Is that a wait? That can happen. That can happen. I had to take a compromised line into that left-hander because the ingot was there and I had to go around it. But like I said earlier, the Tigon is not very consistent. It can be temperamental, and I hit that corner, the bumps on that corner wrongly, and it's something that I know that can happen in that corner because it's happened even when I'm not trying to overtake a slow car. But yeah, that wasn't good. That's lost me a lot of time. As the dogs are going crazy outside. We've exchanged screaming kids for barking dogs. Yeah, I wasn't going to be winning anyway, to be fair. But I'm going to have to be on a bit of a comeback now, I suppose. That's the difficulty in these car v car races. Bloody hell. You got very lucky that Subaru didn't get wiped out with that, because that would have been a wait. That was something that I was about to say, actually, before I had that crash. We've got to be careful overtaking the slower ingots, because if we crash them out, we've got to wait for them. And that's a big wait to wait for them to get up to speed. Alright, need to start making some places. There's Lighty and AG Axel. They're second and third, I think, in the ingots. So RBS has managed to pull out a bit of a gap. There's the leader. Alright, so we're officially... what? 2 laps down now? 1 lap down? 1 lap down. Oh yeah, I need to explain the car choice. Why are we doing Tigons and ingots in the first place? Car v cars have previously, usually most of the time anyway, we've gone with cars that start with the same letter. Turismo versus Tornado, Wagner versus Voltic. That hasn't always been the case, but usually. But why have we gone for Tigon versus Ingot? Well, it literally came up yesterday on stream. The question was posed, are there any cars that are anagrams of each other in GTA? And these were the only 2. All the rest aren't anagrams of each other. They can be if you allow one letter to be different. Neo, Nero, Neon, Xeno. So these are the only two where their names are anagrams of each other. The Tigon has exactly the same letters as the Ingot, just in a different order. Out of all the cars in the game, these are the only two. So why not do a car v car with them? It's just that the reason we've done the car v car, because of the whole anagram situation, has led to two cars that aren't exactly the nicest to drive. Ingot because it's slow as hell, and the Tigon because it's, well, inconsistent and difficult. Alright, so it looks like in terms of my race with the Tigons, this is the best I'm going to get. If I can overtake these two, I'm not going to catch up to anyone else ahead. 5 laps to go, 5.5 minutes behind. So I'm not going to catch them. Might be on for catching 5th place in the Ingots, which would be a top 10 overall. That's got to be the aim. Unless crashes happen in front or whatever. Top 10 overall is the aim. And after a respawn, that would be alright. But there's a long way to go yet. But this is the biggest gap in car performance that we've ever had in a car v car. Previously it was the Turismo versus the Tornado. I think the gap there was, according to what someone said in the chat earlier, that was 23 seconds. This is more like 25 seconds lap time difference on my testing track. So this is the biggest difference in performance we've ever had between two cars in car v car. We normally don't have it this big because closing speeds are so huge, but yeah, we just wanted to go with the anagram theme for this one. Oh, lead's changed in the Ingots. Ajaxo's taken over the lead. Could that be due to crashing with the Tigons? Careful. We do have to be careful. Something I actually didn't do this time is add any extra time for overtaking. Usually we'll add a bit of extra time to allow for the faster cars, you know, the idea that the faster cars will lose time overtaking the slower cars. I haven't done that this time, mainly because the closing speeds are so different that the Tigons can just overtake wherever they want. So we're in a 4-way battle with Tigons, which will probably extend to a 6 or 7 car battle overall, with the Ingots added into that as well. Basically over a top 10. It's the battle that we're in right now. The leaders will be having all their own battles and fights over the victory. There we go, got a lot of clean air in front now. every single time it puts a smile on my face when we get anything like that. I love those downhills on the North Loop, or any track that includes them. We've had so many moments over the years of side-by-side action down there, and it puts a smile on my face every time. Happy about that overtake, I'm pleased about that. There's Subaru, presumably still in a lonely 4th place in the Ingots. Yeah, those bumps on that left-hander are deadly if you don't get the right line. Like I didn't when I was overtaking the Ingot. They can really cause you trouble. Luckily, I own a Tigon, so I was able to respawn. If I'd borrowed somebody else's car, that would have been a much bigger problem. Alright, these are the 2 leaders in the Ingots. Ajax and Lighty are the top 2 right now. Not going to be catching them by the end. Now we've got a really big gap in front. Is that... We've overtaken them... I think we've overtaken them now to unlap ourselves completely. So the next time we come across the Ingots, it should be for position, I think. So this is it now. RBS crashed on a bridge wall as that one happened. Okay. That's where the lead was lost for the Ingots. So it's interesting, because I don't know how clean of a race the Tigon leaders have had. But the Ingot leaders haven't had the cleanest race, but it hasn't been too bad for them, it seems like. At least for Ajaxo and Lighty. Managed to pull a gap a little bit from those Tigons behind, so that's good. Two laps to go, 2.5 minutes behind the leaders. We're not catching up to those. The top 4 in the Ingots are out of my control. I can't catch up to those, I don't think, at this point. How many Tigons are in front of me? Kawanashi, ZPM, Flores. Is that it? Where's GT Driver gone? I don't actually know where I am in the tag. Oh, GT Driver's behind me. He must have had an accident as well. Okay. So I think I'm 4th in the Tigons. I think it's ZPM who's still leading the way. No, is it Kawanashi? Yeah, ZPM is first, Kawanashi is second. So those are the ones who are going to be seeing how far up the order they can get. Alright, there's 19th. Every Ingot we overtake now is going to be for position. Can we get into that top 10? Close. He lost a position because of that. That's multi-class racing, I suppose. I wasn't expecting him to turn in so harshly right at the end there, actually. I thought he knew that I was coming up on the outside, but it was clean enough, just. Alright, there's 15th. Trying to stick to the inside. 1 minute to go, 1 lap to go, even. Less than a minute to 7th place Danny V8. That's the aim. That's who I'm trying to chase down on this last lap. Looks like ZPM had a minute to Ajaxo at this point. ZPM, Flores and Karanashi are all together battling over that first place in the Tigons. Could be really close actually for the victory overall. Well, of course it will be. It's a car v car where it's been specifically... Every time I do this, it's been specifically worked out to be close for the win overall. Every time. I always say this and I'm always surprised at the end. Alright. Oh, these four Ingots in front, I think, because they can't possibly be Tigons. Here we go for the top 10. Oh, there is one Tigon, actually. That must be a backmarker Tigon who's had to wait or something. There's 9th. There's Danny V8, who I was chasing down. There's 8th. I think that's the best I'm going to get. Ooh, close finish between the top 2 and the Ingots, but the Ingots took the win. Ajaxo. ZPM in 3rd. RBS 4th. No, RBS 5th. Flores in 4th. So it's the top 6. We've had 3 Tigons and 3 Ingots. Perfectly as it should be. GG's everybody. Subaru in 7th. Seemed like Subaru had a very lonely race. And I'm coming home in 8th after an action-packed race. That's not bad though. To be honest, 8th place in a car I wasn't too comfortable with at the start, after having to respawn. I think I'm alright with that. That's not too bad. I think I would have been able to possibly keep in that... Like, it would have been a battle for a top 5, I think, without the respawn. But... yeah, I don't think I was going to be fighting for the win anyway. So we had 2 Ingots, 2 Tigons, 1 Ingot, 1 Tigon, 1 Ingot, 1 Tigon. So the top 8, we had 4 of each. So it worked out perfectly in the end. Fun. The only anagrams of each other as well. GG's to Ajaxo for taking the overall win in the slow car for once. They stopped barking as soon as the video was over. I know, right? Typical. So this is what happened to RBS. RIP. That's a big rip.